Hi, my name is Rennie G. I am a recovering addict, musician, producer, and recovery specialist.
Hi, I'm Tony Massey, psychiatrist, addiction medicine specialist at Colmac Clinic. And I'm Doc.
And I'm Rock.
All right. What do we got?
Well, today we have a question from Yolanda. It's really kind of a statement.
Okay.
And this is very common in my groups, especially. I speak with a lot of new people, and this is a common issue. Hi, my name is Yolanda. I am not an alcoholic, just somebody who likes to have fun. And I don't like who I am sober, so I drink.
Huh.
That's a tough place to be.
Yes, Egypt.
Yeah, exactly.
Denial.
Yes. Took me a second. Indeed. But the denial part, yes, I'm not an alcoholic.
Yeah.
It's one of those situations where, a friend of mine says this, and I think it's great. I don't always get in trouble when I drink, but when I'm in trouble, I'm always drunk. But I'm not an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Connect the dots, Yeah. But this one, it goes beyond that, like you said.
Yes.
It seems like Yolanda is really not only sort of wondering, does she really have a problem with alcohol? But also, Yolanda, it sounds like you're right now, your kind of emotional state, your just feeling state is pretty down, and I guess it's kind of easy to look back on sort of the good old days, kind of that selective memory that sometimes we have in early recovery. That it was really great back then. I kind of miss that.
I just want to have fun.
And can't have fun now.
Could it be that there's an element of self-medication going on with her?
Yeah, I think that what Yolanda's at least part of what she's experiencing would be kind of this post-acute withdrawal syndrome, which we've talked about before. That you stop, literally, just beating your brain up with these, toxic substances,
right?
And just brain kind of goes into healing mode, and that can involve a lot of uncomfortable emotional states. And in particular, if Yolanda is, if you're self-medicating, if you kind of like drinking to kind of push down feeling bad, like a lot of people, do, then you may just not be used to kind of the full range of what normal feelings are like. I mean, some days are good days, some days are bad days. I think in early recovery, it seems like from an emotional state, a lot of people are a little down. So I think that's common.
It took me months before I rebounded to a normal state.
Yeah.
Where my equilibrium was, where I felt good as often as I felt bad. It was usually, when I first got clean, I felt bad, and sometimes I'd feel good. And then it was sort of a little bit better. And now, 6 years later, I feel good 90% of the time.
Yeah. And I think also if you think about what sort of triggers using addictive substances in the first place, what all of the molecules that we know of that have addictive properties all do is sort of short circuit a very important system in our brain for dealing with uncomfortable feeling states. Ordinarily, if you're hungry, then, for instance, your brain will kind of trigger, we're not feeling good, better, we're hungry, what do I do? Food, so you go for food. Or feeling lonely, like, what do I do? Well, maybe, call a friend, or go, socialize with kind of a place that, wherever, church, or I don't know, whatever you do for company. But that's the drugs sort of short circuit that. So you feel lonely, is like, well, have a drink,
Right. There'll be people there.
Yeah, or feeling hungry, like, well, have a drink. Feeling tired, better have a drink.
Right.
Feeling, so it's uncomfortable emotional state. So I think that, that may be part of what's at play here. Is Yolanda is feeling a little bit uncomfortable, and kind of accessing that whole sort of neurocircuitry that, the coping strategy kind of circuitry. Let's feel bad, better go drink, and now it's kind of making these excuses like, well, I was a much more fun person using and that kind of thing.
It's been dormant for a long time.
Oh.
Yeah, and also I think what people forget is well is that when you push down the negative feelings,
Mhm.
you tend to push down the positive feelings too. You push down all feelings. You can't just selectively not feel things. You just choose to not feel, and that encompasses good feelings, bad feelings, And when they come back to recovery, it all comes out at one time, and it just feels like chaos.
Yeah.
So time is of the essence, Yolanda. Give it time.
Yeah.
You've been sober. It says you've been sober for 5 days. And
5 days.
That's awesome. 5 days is great because I couldn't get 3 days, but 5 days is not a long time.
Yeah, 5 days. You're heading in a good direction. Just kind of hang in there, and whatever it takes to hang in. I think it's going to be important.
Absolutely, and don't drink tonight. Today, just don't do it.
Yeah.
Worry about tomorrow.
Yeah. All right.
You like that?
I like that.
Awesome.
All right. I think there's one day or something like that.
Something like that. One day at a time. I think.
One day at a time. Okay. All right, Yolanda. Thank you for writing it.
I'm Rock.
And I'm Doc.
See you next time.
Yeah.